Live from KSAT12, the news at noon starts right now.
We have some new details this afternoon. We now know the names of the two men who allegedly shot at a police unit last night on the city's east side. A third man, however, considered armed and dangerous, is still on the street.
We brought you the story as it was unfolding last night at 10 o'clock. We are now learning more details. Sarah Costa explains how investigators were able to track down two of the alleged shooters and track them down so quickly.
26-year-old Alton Green and 28-year-old DeAndre Ross are behind bars today and facing charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. This after both men, along with another car passenger, shot at an unmarked police unit last night on the city's east side. Detectives not in uniform working for the Texas Anti-Gang Task Force say they came across a vehicle they believed was suspicious just before 7 p.m. Monday in the area near Dawson and Gevers on the east side. The officers started to follow the vehicle after witnessing the three people in the car shoot toward a building. Police say Green, Ross, and another suspect then stopped their car. That's when shots rang out from the vehicle and shot toward the officers. The suspects then took off. East Patrol officers set up a perimeter and detained two of the suspects. Police are still searching for a third.
The third suspect is considered to be armed. He is considered to be dangerous. So if anyone sees someone in their yard or some suspicious activity in there, please let us know so we can go and see if we can get this third person.
The detectives in the unmarked police unit were not injured, but the vehicle was hit by the gunfire. SAPD says the detectives did not fire back.
Police did not give us a description of that third shooter. It's unclear if anyone was in the building where the suspects fired their weapons initially. More investigation is needed. Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
We want to take you live with our TransGuide cameras. This is a bit of a problem. This is at Loop 1604 and I-10. It's on the northwest side, and you can see it is blocking traffic, and there is a big cluster of emergency vehicles there.
All right, so this has been an active scene for almost 8 hours, and it's been something we've been tracking throughout the morning. Stephen Cavazos brought it up, especially during the 9 a.m. and still. So if you are out and about today, do your best to avoid this area. Find alternative routes. Good news is, doesn't seem like there's any bad weather that we're dealing with, Justin.
No, the sun is out at that scene, but yes, it's been there for a while. We are starting to see, though, some pop-up showers and storms. If you remember yesterday, we had a few at this time. Not as much activity today, but there is some there. As we look at radar right now, the authority radar, we can see that there are some light showers trying to pop up around Canyon Lake. We've noticed some on the northwest side of San Antonio. This is near Helotes. We saw a little cluster of showers and storms pop up, and they very quickly went away. It's going to kind of be the nature of the activity today, but like yesterday, we could see some of these flare up into perhaps a stronger storm briefly. We saw that yesterday afternoon with some small hail on the northwest side, but these storms popping up right along the Balcones Escarpment here, and we're seeing more of those into parts of the hill country this afternoon. And we'll see some spotty activity over the next couple of hours. We could even see a little bit of this here in San Antonio. So the KSAT 12-hour forecast, 86 at 2 o'clock, 87 at 3 p.m., 88 at 4 p.m., 20% chance rain. That's what we're going to keep in the forecast most of today into this evening, and then you'll see those rain chances drop off tonight. And we'll be looking in mid-70s by 10 or 11 o'clock. Here's a look at the satellite picture, and I mentioned Balcones Escarpment right there. It's north of that where we're seeing some of the showers and storms starting to bubble up, and we're starting to see those clouds build a little bit into some showers and storms. Temperature-wise, 83 right now in San Antonio, and a lot of 80s on the map. Close to 90 in Cotulla, one of the hot spots. And speaking of heat, it's about to get really hot. We'll talk more about that forecast as we head towards the weekend coming up here in just a couple minutes. Ursula.
Thank you, Justin. One single bullet has put two people in the hospital and sent another one on the run. San Antonio police trying to figure out who that shooter is. They believe the overnight gun violence stemmed from an argument at an apartment complex. Katrina Weber tells us a passerby also was left hurting.
Bright lights on what should be a dark night at the Westwood Plaza apartments spelled trouble. San Antonio police were called in just after midnight for a shooting with two victims. They say the 39 and 50-year-old men told them they were on their way to see a friend at the apartment complex when they were confronted by another man. The victims say that man, who came out of an apartment on Westwood Drive near West Military, asked them what they were doing. Then an argument broke out. At some point, they say the man fired one gunshot. Police say that single bullet went through one victim's leg, then hit the second, also in his leg. Both victims were rushed to a hospital but are expected to be okay. As it turned out, there was a third person who was injured as a result of the shooting, a 21-year-old woman who was walking here and hit by shrapnel. Police say she suffered a minor injury. She did not need to go to a hospital. The shooter, though, had the need to get away. Police searched the area for that gunman but did not find him. Katrina Weber, KSAT12 News.
Well, today the Texas Senate reconvenes in a special session. Border security, a hot topic of discussion. Now, this comes as the Bexar County Sheriff's Office files a criminal complaint with the Bexar County District Attorney's Office, all in connection with that flight of 49 migrants from San Antonio to Martha's Vineyard. Remember, all this happening back in September of 2022. In a statement, BCSO saying, quote, "The charge filed is unlawful restraint and several counts were filed, both misdemeanor and felony. At this point, the case is being reviewed by the DA's office. Once an update is available, it will be provided to the public," end quote. During the early stages of the investigation, the sheriff alleges that the migrants, who are mostly Venezuelans, were victims of the crime. Now, the migrants telling the sheriff's office a woman convinced them to board the planes, offering them jobs, housing, and education if they went to Massachusetts.
Now to Russia's war with Ukraine, where flooding is turning into the new danger caused by war here. A major dam has been destroyed in the fighting in southern Ukraine, triggering flooding in nearby towns, putting thousands of residents at risk. ABC's M. Nguyen explains why who did the bombing of the dam is a new point of contention between the two countries.
The destruction of a critical dam along the Dnipro River in Russian-occupied southern Ukraine, causing a torrent of water to flood nearby residential towns. Ukraine and Russia blaming each other as both sides rely on water and energy generated by the dam. Each side forced to evacuate thousands of residents.
Russia cannot defeat us on the battlefield. So it targets civilian infrastructure to try to freeze us into submission.
Ukraine accusing Russian forces of blowing up the dam and of destroying a nearby hydroelectric power plant. Of more concern is the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant 100 miles upstream, which needs a lot of water to cool its reactors. The UN's International Atomic Energy Agency saying there is no immediate safety risk, but that it's closely monitoring the situation.
This is an outrageous act which demonstrates once again the brutality of Russia's war in Ukraine.
But the Kremlin is blaming Ukraine for sabotaging the dam, claiming it's to distract attention from its much-anticipated counteroffensive. As the Ukrainian military starts taking back its territory, it's not clear if their long-planned counteroffensive is underway. Ukraine's defense ministry saying plans love silence, releasing this video near the eastern city of Bakhmut, which shows Russian soldiers under fire. The Biden administration saying the U.S. has provided Ukraine with what it needs to achieve its goals.
We have done everything we can to make them ready to be able to conduct successful counteroffensive ground operations.
Who sabotaged the dam can't currently be verified. Some experts say the loss of the dam could hinder Ukraine's counteroffensive, though it also makes it harder for Russia to supply water to Crimea. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
We've got a heads up for you today, the last day you can vote early in the city's runoff races happening this weekend. The polls are open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. tonight. Election day is on Saturday coming up. That's when we're going to find out who will represent Districts 1 and 7 on the city council here in San Antonio.
All right, speaking of San Antonio, go Spurs, go. Hopefully, I'm going to say hopefully, one of our future Spurs #1 pick, Victor Wembanyama, having a lot of success, especially hosting block parties in the French League playoffs. We're going to explain what happened and what comes next.
And a special nonprofit that helps to dress teens in fresh threads says it's not just providing new clothes, the ways these outfits are helping at-risk youth and how you can keep the organization's mission going. A fresh set of clothes offering a fresh start for thousands upon thousands of at-risk Bexar County kids. That's been the job of San Antonio Threads, a local nonprofit celebrating 7 years of service.
Tiffany Huertas explains how you could be a part of the mission and help even more teens to look their best.
It improves their confidence, and it's great to be able to make their day when they come in to visit with us.
Over 70,000. That's how many teens have been provided new clothes and accessories at this shop since it opened in 2016. San Antonio Threads provides different items to at-risk youth ages 12 to 21. Kathy Hamilton, CEO and founder of the nonprofit, says they are on their way to serve more teens this year compared to last.
It's June, and we've already served over 4,000 kids in San Antonio. Last year we served 16,000 youth. So that tells me that we will probably serve close to 20,000 kids just in San Antonio.
After teens choose their outfits, they can leave a special note for staff, and you can see the impact it's had on their lives along the walls of this shop.
We need our community support. We need volunteers. We need people to share our mission.
Hamilton's passion for helping goes back to her days as a volunteer for Child Advocates San Antonio.
All of the foster youth that I advocated for didn't have a jacket or they had holes in their shoes. I would still always tell myself, that's not right. Somebody should do something about that. And finally one day I'm looking in the mirror, it's you. Figure it out.
Hamilton says you can make an impact by joining them at their birthday brunch. The nonprofit is hosting an event on July 14th at Rock and Brews Restaurant. Proceeds from ticket sales go back to stock the shop.
We hope you come out and celebrate with us and reminisce us turning 7.
Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
Taking a live look outside, we are in sunshine with a few clouds. Other people, though, are getting rain right now.
Okay, Justin, are we expecting any rain downtown San Antonio?
Not at the moment, but there is a possibility of some pop-up showers as we head into the afternoon. Kind of like we saw yesterday, just not as much coverage, I don't think, this afternoon. The aquifer started to go the other way now. It's dropped half a foot, 647.9. And your pollen counts, some better news here. Molds are down big time from yesterday, down to 840 in the moderate category. Grass is low at 30. We've got to look at that radar. We'll show you where things are popping and where we may see some storms here over the next hour or so coming up.
All right, welcome back. Happy Tuesday, 12:16, already 83 degrees out there. I gotta say though, this wild weather continues. Some people even getting showers right now.
You know, I got hammered with rain last night around 6 o'clock and just out of nowhere.
It was a good storm. Yeah, it popped up on the northwest side, put down some small hail and very heavy rain in spots and gusty winds too. That storm moved south and affected folks across the western part of San Antonio. Now we're starting to see some redevelopment of some showers and storms today. But as I've been saying, it's not going to be as widespread as it was yesterday. I do think we'll still see some activity. You're just not as many are going to see the good rain. As we look at the radar right now, the authority radar, we're looking at just a couple of showers here in Bexar County. The one we had over Helotes we showed you earlier has died down. We've got a few more over the hill country. The biggest storm we have out there right now, and again, nothing severe, but just good lightning and thunder and maybe some good rain, is down here south of Concan, in between Canepa, Concan, and Sabinal. That's where we're seeing some good rain falling at this point. And if you're in Canepa, you're probably hearing the thunder, seeing some lightning strikes with this as well as it slowly drifts off to the south and east. So this is going to cross over Highway 90 right here near Canepa. It's already happening, but this will continue to drift southeast to just probably west of Sabinal here over the next 20 to 30 minutes or so. So that's kind of the biggest activity that we have at the moment. But we are watching some of these little showers that are trying to take shape here in northwestern Bexar County as well. We do have one little leftover shower here, maybe a developing shower near 151 at 1604 there near Alamo Ranch as well. So you may be getting a few raindrops there. That's going to be the nature of this activity. Pops up, develops, moves along, or falls apart. And our forecast does show some of these isolated storms popping up. Now these computer models can never tell exactly where this is going to happen. So this is just kind of a guess, but the atmosphere is set up for these small pop-ups here and there. By 5 o'clock does show some of that activity potentially affecting San Antonio and up and down the I-35 corridor before it all dies down tonight with the loss of daytime heating, the loss of that energy that's needed to get this activity going. Let's go outside for you. We've got partly cloudy skies, 83 degrees at the airport, 82 Kelly, 81 at Randolph, light winds. And you can see the satellite picture here. You can pick up where we're getting some of those clouds bubbling up into showers and storms. Right in this region here, we showed you that storm right to the north of Sabinal And where you see some of these clouds kind of coming together and building a little bit, that's where we may see our next round of showers and storms. And that's primarily so far been across the hill country. South and east of San Antonio, skies are clear, so it's kind of been right along the escarpment here where we've seen that development. I want to show you the bigger picture. We've got kind of an unusual setup across the country. Big low over parts of Maine. We've got a low out of California, and things are kind of stuck for the time being. But the flow has been out of Canada here in the Northeast, and that has been bringing in a ton of smoke from wildfires in Canada. So we got bad air quality up here, and on top of that, there is a grass fire threat for folks up across the Northeast in places like Pennsylvania, which is pretty rare, but things are dry up there and they're getting some gusty winds. So just again, sort of an unusual pattern across the country. And as we look at the upper level pattern here, one thing we notice for us is that high pressure starts to kind of nudge in and build in. That's never a good thing for us because it tends to cut the rain off and bring temperatures up. So I think by next week, as this really starts to build, we're going to see some pretty big time temperatures. High temperatures over the next several days. I do think we make it into the mid 90s by Friday, and over the weekend it will be hot and humid and above average. And then beyond that, we could see those even warmer temperatures. Very quickly, if you were curious, our first 100-degree day, the average is June 26th. The earliest we've ever seen 100-degree days, February 21st back in 1996, and the latest just a couple years ago, September 6th. And there's been several years, by the way, where we haven't hit 100 degrees at all. We'll see how this year plays out. 90 Wednesday, 92 Thursday, still some small rain chances, another one Friday night and a Saturday. But the big story as we head into the weekend will be the heat, guys.
Yeah, we're way ahead of where we were last year. Thanks, Justin.
Speaking of the Heat Nuggets finals continues. We're going to give you a full preview. We hear from both teams in just a few moments. And of course, can't forget about high school playoffs. We got a local team fighting for the top spot in the state. We're going to break it all down. That's next. Welcome back, and you got to be excited for the San Antonio Spurs' future. A big part of that future, hopefully, French phenom, future NBA player Victor Wembanyama, and he's leading his current team, the Metropolitans 92, to the finals in France. Take a look. They beat Asvel in Game 4, and they won 71-69, so real nail-biter. They claimed the series 3-1. Wemby holding a block party, swatting away 5 shots, showing what we all know, he's more than just a scorer. Online, he's listed at anywhere. He's like, think about it this way. He's about a foot taller than Justin Horn. He is listed at anywhere from 7'2" to 7'5". So back in the NBA regular season, before the playoffs, he was asked to clear it all up.
So back in France, we measure bare feet, and I'm 7'3" bare feet.
Okay, so when you put shoes on the court.
Yeah, I'm actually never measuring myself with shoes on, but it's got to be like 7'4" or 5", I guess.
Just a casual 7'4" or 5". All right, he is now getting to face Monaco in the LMB Pro A finals, and that starts on Saturday.
We're not worried about what anybody thinks. We're so focused in on what we do well and who we are as a group that at the end of the day, that's what we fall back on. Make or miss shots, we're going to be who we are because we're not worried about anybody else. It's how it's been all year long, and that's not going to change. So that's what I think it is. I think it's the I don't give a damn factor.
So we were talking about the French finals. What about the American finals? Jimmy Butler and the Heat, they don't care about the outside noise or really the courtside noise either. Butler and the Heat beating the Nuggets 111-108 in Game 2 of the NBA Finals. The series tied at 1 apiece. The Nuggets head coach Mike Malone chalked up the loss for the Nuggets to the lack of effort.
Like I said, it was more discipline. It's defeating when you're giving up mistake after mistake, and it's not, them beating you. You're giving them open dunks or giving them open shots. So that's tough to come back from, and we've got to stay together and look ahead.
So, particularly difficult game for Jamal Murray. He missed a potential game-tying 3 to end the game. A good look, but really the shot was a brick. All right, Game 3 and 4 going down in Miami on Wednesday and Friday night, respectively. Game 5 shifting back to Denver on Monday. Hopefully there's Games 6 and 7. All games tip off at 7:30. Here's my favorite part. You can watch it right here on KSAT12. Well, back here at home, a beautiful afternoon at Bernie Champion High School. The Chargers getting ready to play Argyle. All of this in the UIL Class 5A state semifinals. Two of the best 5A teams around closing in on the state championship. The Chargers got here by beating top-tier quality teams, Liberty Hill, Brackenridge, Smithson Valley, Corpus Christi Ray, and leading to Rouse. Beating Argyle, it's not going to be easy, but the Chargers, they're feeling good.
I think we have some powerful momentum right now coming off that win against Rouse. That really made us feel like we could win this whole thing. Argyle is a tough team, but we know we can battle as much as they can. We can bring the fight as well, so I think we have very good momentum.
We just got to attack it the same. We got to start off hot, can't start off dead. Got to come out of the gates hot because this could be make or break our season. So we're going to go, we're going to attack it, and we'll see what happens.
I mean, really, we just kind of try and make it our advantage. That we play to our advantage is we just try and play as hard as we can. It's one game. That's all we got. So we're going to put all our energy, all of our effort into it and just do our best to get to state championship.
All right, so here's the matchup. Argyle, Bernie champion, Thursday night, 7 o'clock, Dell Diamond in Round Rock. The winner going to the 5A state final. That is set for Saturday. So good luck to everyone. As they talked about, they have had a tough road to get to this point. Hopefully they can ride that momentum right to Dell Diamond, bring home a ring.
That would be nice. We'll congratulate you no matter how it comes out, though.
There you go.
All right, a widely used sleep aid catching some flack because it may not be as safe as you think. What you need to know about melatonin in the next half hour.
All right, SA Live, though, cooking up some delicious food for the second annual Fredericksburg Craft Beer Festival, hoping that they can share some of that with us.
Is that beer and steak?
Oh, my breakfast at Champions over there. I guess Mike's done GMSA,
this
so
is not
like dinner
fair.
for him.
They're doing it again. All right, new today at 5. Speaking of steaks, we're talking steaks. They can be a great gift idea for Father's Day. Mail order companies deliver them right to your door. But how do they taste? 12 News Size Marilyn Moritz tells us what taste testers thought of the steaks from 3 popular mail order steak companies. Next.
Welcome back. Now to the latest in that lawyer who's accused of sexually assaulting 4 different women 15 years ago. Now, he's pleaded not guilty in court. ABC's Ariel Reshef reports prosecutors said DNA was used to tie him to these cases years after the attack.
15 years after a series of rape cases rocked the city of Boston, this morning, this 35-year-old Manhattan attorney is waking up in a Boston jail cell, charged with 7 counts of rape and sexual assault.
How do you plead to those offenses? Guilty or not guilty? Not guilty.
Matthew Nilo, accused of sexually assaulting 4 women in 2007 and 2008 in the Charlestown area. More than a decade after the trail ran cold, authorities revisited the investigation. Using forensic investigative genealogy, they determined Nilo, who was raised in Boston, was a person of interest. FBI agents in the New York area placing him under surveillance.
FBI agents were able to obtain various utensils and drinking glasses they watched the defendant use at a corporate event. From one of the glasses, the Boston Police Crime Lab was able to obtain a male DNA profile, which is found to match the suspect profile from the 3 Terminal Street rapes.
Nilo was arrested last week at his home in New Jersey. His fiancée seen clutching rosary beads in court, refusing to answer questions. Nilo's attorney saying his client maintains his innocence.
I haven't seen any police reports or any factual statements by the Commonwealth.
A new study showing that the sleep supplement melatonin is more popular than ever, despite evidence that doing so could cause all sorts of issues. That study found that by 2018, Americans were taking more than twice the amount of melatonin we took a decade ago. Problem is, long-term use can be a real health issue. Melatonin has been linked to symptoms like headaches, depression, stomach cramps, and low blood pressure. It can also interact with common medications and trigger allergies. Over-the-counter melatonin is not fully regulated, so the pills might have significantly higher levels than what you see on the label. Many people think melatonin is a vitamin or a mineral, but it's actually a hormone, and it regulates your body's sleep cycles.
Take melatonin every night.
Well, maybe you should rethink that.
Yeah, well, you got to wake up at 1 a.m. for GMSA. All right, so how long babies are breastfed could impact their test scores later in life. A study followed about 5,000 British children from their infancy in the early 2000s to their last year of high school. Now, the researchers found there was a modest improvement in test scores associated with those being breastfed into their first year. It's important to note, though, the results only showed a correlation. It did not show a causation, which many studies don't show. So there you go. We're going to have a lot more on this study on KSAT12.
Taking a live look outside, we have got a hazy day out there. Anything could happen, as Justin says. Storms are popping.
Yeah, we are seeing a few showers and storms trying to pop up in spots around San Antonio, but we're going to start first with a little bit of a traffic update. I want to show you what's going on at 1604 and I-10. This has been going on for most of the morning. Still some issues there, and there still are some slowdowns. Let me show you the map here, and I'll take you up there. Now, there's construction going on, too, so there's already a pretty usual amount of high amount of traffic in this area that causes some slowdowns, but it does look like there are some backups, so we'll warn you there because at least one of the ramps was closed early this morning with that crash. So we just wanted to pass that along to you. Now we switch over to the radar and we show you that, yes, we do have some activity trying to pop up. We saw that there on the northwest side near Helotes, and then now we're getting some new development right near Alamo Ranch along 151 on the far west side. We'll zoom in. Well, it's jumping around on me here. Let's jump in a little bit closer, look a little bit closer at this activity. And it's just to the west of SeaWorld. Nothing too heavy here. We're not detecting any lightning strikes, but there is going to be some brief heavy rain. If you're traveling along 1604, you're going to see some of that. We've also been watching that stronger storm out to the west near Concan. That has drifted south towards Sabinal. Still a couple of lightning strikes with that. So it's just to the west of Sabinal there along Highway 90 in between Canipa and Sabinal now. And we're also seeing some additional development up across parts of the hill country in Kendall County. Again, nothing that's too heavy, and we'll see just about a 20% chance of rain today. Temperatures will top out close to 88 for high, and then down into the 70s tonight with even warmer weather on the way as we head into the latter part of the work week and into the weekend, guys.
Thank you, Justin. Today is the 79th anniversary of the D-Day invasion. It's known as the beginning of the end of World War II. Back on June 6, 1944, more than 100,000 brave Allied troops stormed the beaches of Normandy in Nazi-occupied France, taking on intense gunfire and bombs. The troops from the United States, the UK, France, Canada, and other countries took on about 50,000 German forces on the other side of the English Channel. The offensive was so bloody, and it was a turning point in the war. It ultimately led to the liberation of Western Europe from Germany less than a year later.
Well, with Election Day more than a year away, more politicians throwing their hats in the ring, vying to be our commander-in-chief. That includes former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. He's set to enter the 2024 Republican presidential primary today. This will be his second bid for the White House. Expected to clash with current Republican frontrunner, former President Donald Trump. Chris Christie has been critical of the former president since his loss in 2020, but before that, he was a fierce ally. In an interview with Axios, Christie vowed he will never support Trump again.
And former Vice President Mike Pence officially joining the 2024 presidential race as well. According to the Federal Election Commission, he filed his paperwork yesterday to run for the Republican nomination. Pence set to formally announce his candidacy tomorrow ahead of a CNN presidential town hall. Now, this sets up a potential clash with his former boss, of course, Donald Trump. The two had a falling out when Trump tried to blame Pence for not challenging the 2020 presidential election.
All right, questions remain after a deadly plane crash, and a big one. Why it took authorities more than an hour to take action after it happened over the airspace, which should be the most secure in the country, if not the world.
A new effort now underway to address railroad crossings and how to make them safer. It can also help drivers save some time and money, too. We'll tell you how.